Hello, my excellent friends. I'm Fred. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. This week we're going to do a little discussion about Ghost of Tsushima, which I finished back in the early hours, a little after midnight, or actually more closer to 1 a.m. back on May 25th, 2024. Now, I was playing this game exclusively on Friday nights, starting from the end of January. And so each individual play session was about 3 to 4 hours. So hence things were kind of like drawn out a bit. But being that this is essentially it is an open world game, I was able to pace things the way I wanted to do them. So I did like everything. We found all the Inari shrines. We found all of the bamboo strikes. We found each let's see, we did every little side quest that we could find. We did everything. We actually platinum this game. All right, we got all the base trophies for the game itself. For the actual core game, we platinum every single trophy was earned, and I managed to pace things out and set things up to where uh, on that final night that we were playing it, I was able to get like 2 to 3 trophies popping at a time because of how things were just lining up as relates to certain like story objectives and things of that sort. So we liberated every single village. We did every single duel. We did it all. Okay, so like no stone was left unturned as it relates to the trophies. Now, in terms of some in-game collectibles and stuff like that for like little novelty items and gear and stuff, yeah, I was tempted to do that, but when I saw that that had no bearing on the actual achievements, on the actual trophies, it's like, yeah, okay, no, I can live without getting all the novelty gear and such and things of that sort, or finding all the crickets to get all the individual songs. Like, I was satisfied. And that's kind of how I feel about the game overall. It was a satisfying experience. I did find that this game was essentially much like Horizon Zero Dawn in terms of how you could do virtually everything as you came across it. So you weren't like totally locked in and committed to just doing main quest after main quest after main quest until you areas you had open up. Matter of fact, that is the difference between the two because you're actually uh, gate locked behind story progression through each of the main areas until like there's Act One, which is the southern area of the map. Act Two is the middle portion, but you can go free roam from this. Act Three opens where you just limit it to that third most northern area, but then it opens back up to where you can like go everywhere on the island. So it's you kind of you earn your way through, so you are in a way incentivized to explore and get the most out of each individual area before you would want to progress the story forward. That said, the story in and of itself, a Mongol invasion on this tiny little island, it's serviceable. But it's really not a major factor in the game. In terms of it, because okay, it's like the Mongol Khan. He's only appears in certain scenes, and you got like these little characters and sub, but it's all the secondary characters, like uh, like Makoto for example, or as I jokingly refer to her at times, the badass samurai grandma. She's out for revenge because her family was killed, and actually slaughtered her children and grandchildren. Then you had Yuna, the thief that rescued the protagonist Jin at the beginning of the game, and I'm almost disappointed that there wasn't like some romantic subplot there, although it is kind of teased and hinted at times. But and how she wants to get off the island, she wants to take her brother with her, and Taka is her brother, and he has a major heroic moment, and and so it's like it's the actual companion characters that you meet along the way, and interacting with the citizens across the island. That I feel where this game really shines. It's like the main story is actually its weakest point because by and large it's like, okay, you're rallying the people. You are essentially Zorro in feudal Japan. And I would dare say I wouldn't mind seeing a Zorro game like this. Just taking the same base concepts and everything, change the sword fighting style from the Japanese samurai format to a bit more of like traditional fencing, and you could have like an awesome Zorro based game as well. That can probably cross like Spain and late 1800s. Uh, Mexico, like Mexico, California, and the American Southwest. Like, I mean, that's a sidebar there, but still, um, it's like you do get a fair bit of customization options here with all the armors, and as you upgrade the armors, different customization options. You can find like dyes and things that change the colors. Same also goes for your swords. Almost everything is upgradable in terms of how much ammo, like smoke bombs, canary, bows and arrows. You have a nice arsenal of goodies to help you along the way. The sword fighting mechanics was, satisfying. Granted, I'm playing on the easiest setting because that's what I do. It's like why make things harder for ourselves, as I like to say. But even then, even on its easiest setting, you could find yourself get easily making mistakes because there were times where I certainly made quite a few mistakes. Um, Dealing with certain enemies, like fighting bears, was often a pain in the ass for me. And it's like further late in the game you go, it's like the archers can get poisons and things like that. And if you don't have enough resilience, you could actually find yourself in a big bad way. Um, there is a nice variety there, a nice little challenge of sorts. Granted, probably on the harder difficulties, that challenge becomes a little bit more of an interesting factor for those who want to play games like under hardest difficulty settings. So the big question is though, would I play Ghost of Tsushima again? And the answer is no, I won't. I platinumed it. There is a new game plus mode, and there's a trophy associated with something that's exclusive to new game plus mode. But I really don't feel like the incentive to want to go play it again. Like, because I did everything in it. My playthrough was about 58 to 61 hours, give or take. So it's like, yeah, I felt like I was good in terms of getting the most out of it. So like there was no essentially there was no reason to there's no reason for me to go back and play it again. And this also leads into like, okay, why didn't I do the DLC story? There's this other little island that adds a little bit more story to this game. Um, I just by the time I finish it, granted, I enjoyed this game a lot. I highly recommend it, but by the time I actually finished it, I felt I was ready to move on to something else. Um, um, it, it doesn't have like that same because you could do everything in a single playthrough. So there was like unless you're a glutton for punishment and want to do things on the hardest setting and want to go through the story again with all your gear and everything maxed out, or whatever it is that carries over from your first playthrough to your new game plus playthrough, there's just nothing there. I didn't mess around with the legends and mode or the I guess multiplayer aspect of the game, um, because again, there was enough there in the core game, the actual base game, the main game itself, to go like, yeah, I'm good. I'm satisfied. I had a wonderful time playing it, but it's time to move on to something else. So they get like a new experience, as it were. So yeah, but I do recommend it if you're eyeing Ghost of Tsushima, the director's cut version, which I'm assuming is going to have everything and like some various improvements along the way. As far as the base game concerned, the actual core game in and of itself, it's definitely an experience. You will get like, at the very least, if you're as thorough as I am, you will get 60 hours worth of playtime out of it. Which I know in this day may not seem a lot, but again, it's an open world adventure and you can pace yourself however it is you like. So with that said, thank you very much. Tighten your friendship bracelet, stay safe. We'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.